When you're not playing God with science, uh, you're not afraid of dying. You just don't like being uncomfortable because you don't like being a science project, right? So you're a superior human being to the human beings that think they're superior to you. Um, they examine and break down everything to nauseum. They think they understand everything perfectly. Nietzsche, he's a lot like Luther, and when a person talks, okay, how many times do they appear to be compassionate, intelligent, kind, caring, okay? Because they're probing for influence, for them to be a focal point of importance. Okay? Forgive, debt, and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Oh. The nauseam is shutting up. The examinations are shutting up. Helen Reddy, it's oh so peaceful here. There's no one looking over my shoulder, no one whispering in my ear. So, being murdered by perverts, it's uncomfortable and it sucks. When I talk to Jesus during crucifixion, I feel the distress, but I don't feel the physical pain that much. The only one I felt physical pain a lot when I talked to him, and it was hard to talk to him, was Hawking. Okay, I could feel my chest and all the pain that he was going through. There's a radical difference between Jesus and Sun Yat-sen and Stephen Hawking. Is Jesus and Sun Yat-sen are the type like my mom, I'm sick, leave me alone. I don't want to get you sick. And so there's a radical difference between people like my mom and Jesus and Sun Yat-sen and Stephen Hawking. If I ain't happy, nobody's happy. I'm sick, everybody's going to be sick. God did this. If God is real, God did this to me, and I'm blaming God, And it's like, feel my pain, the way these assholes are in this town. Jesus, feel my pain. I don't want to feel your pain anymore. You want to stand up for the Lord's Prayer? Go away. You fucking suck. Take your 300 and some odd million from Meta and go to Vegas or something and get a massage and get some drugs from your local body repair factory with your mind repair factories and just leave me alone. Because goddamn, you're evil, right? And so it's pretty gross, but money's not real, right? Money is an instrument used by evil people to mass murder stupid people, right? We know that since Jesus forgive debt and trespass, and before, we've known that way before, especially the Hebrews. Fucking crazy idol worship wackadoodles, and it's in the Bible numerous times. Okay. There are things that are given to you by the creation of God. There are things that are invented by human beings that human beings accept as value. It's like, really? That's a fucking statue. You're worshiping the fucking statue. Now you want little tiny statues in your hand to say that represents water, food, all the things that God gave us? You're taking what God gave us, you're turning it into an evil little object of your insanity and saying this is more important than God's gift of water and food and a wife and a child. You guys are nuts, and they are. And when you accept that, you're a fucking Roman, you're not a Hebrew. I don't want to hear about your goddamn fucking kosher hot dogs wrapped in plastic with your kidneys wrapped in plastic saying we need more money to get our kosher hot dogs in Kadeem. Hey, fuck you. You guys are horrid. And if you don't know you're horrid, it's probably most likely because the scientific community is mind raping you and you're terrified of them. Or you're addicted to what they're doing and you think you'll eventually kill them, which you won't. Oh God, no, they can kill you anytime they want. Yeah, it's despicable me. You really think all the rich people that are despicable and disgusting tell the scientists what to do when the scientists have the project? Remember how I told you about David Rockefeller? If he gives you a gun, he has a better gun and he's just using it for you to kill yourself and the other people like yourself. Okay. Now imagine people that hated David Rockefeller because that's the way David Rockefeller is. That are the scientists that work for David Rockefeller. And those are the people that are running Fort Huachuca. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, it is. It's quite hideous and it's quite disgusting. It's very painful. God damn, I'm in pain. But yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, no, it's entirely tangible. This is the year, the night of the expanding man. FM. This is the year. While they're doing, we're supposed to be. This is the 21st century. We have global communications. We're supposed to be scientifically more intelligent and better people than we've ever been before. Okay, they knew before they took me to Sierra Vista that the Loris Papagera and applications of physics is perfect. That's not hard to hide. When you understand it in linguistics, it's not manipulated by Constantine Jerome. If I knew all this stuff, and they came up and started talking to me and stuff, no, they're just getting people that are still involved in. Because when they had the guy from psychology department of Chicago talk to me, you're very intelligent. They were trying to get me into the group because I would be a very powerful genocidal weapon if they were able to get me into the group sexually and this and that and then involve me. I always have to tell that to Amy. No, we'd still be in Sierra Vista. I'd be in really great shape having some of the most fun and best sex of my life if I was shallow and sick like the scientist on the Big Bang Theory. And I would be killing all the right people for Sheldonopoulos. And that's just unacceptable to me because we're not living the Lord's Prayer. It's not time to live the Lord's Prayer yet. The right time to live the Lord's Prayer is the moment you realize it's right. And if they realize it's right and they're not doing it, then how the fuck, that's really something wrong there. Okay, it's like, wait, you realize that the application of the Lord's physics is right. Okay, but you're not doing it and you're causing global warming through mass extinction experiments like with the big windmills that they're causing these 90-degree temperatures in March, and causing all these, okay. And I've told, it's weird the way the weather patterns shift. It's shifting. It's very unnatural. Why? Because of these huge, and I don't know where else across the world they have them, the big wind farms that produce all this green energy, right? You're radically changing your wind patterns. No, my dad says, no, it's, okay, when you have a huge fan like that, okay, it's like talking to Aunt Frances and her stupid-ass bishop in fucking Riados. If you think you have anything to do with global warming, you're just crazy. That's like saying if you put potatoes in the microwave and it said cook 2 to 4 minutes and you cooked it for 24 minutes that you didn't burn down the room, right? Fuck. When you turn on a fan in a barn, okay, does that radically change the way that the ecosystem is working in the barn? It changes the way the patterns, when everything goes through okay, now imagine a really big fan with a really big superhero who can spend, electricity, okay, do you understand? Electricity, okay, never mind. Okay. When you're doing things excessively compulsively and they go in radical contrast to nature's design, it doesn't matter how eco-green friendly you think your money milk it isn't, dumbass. God damn. No, it's like talking to a bunch of, I swear, it's like talking to a bunch of damn dirty apes, Dr. Zaius. Is that Roddy McDowell? Oh, gosh, damn, they're just so fucking stupid. It's just not even, it's just like, fuck. That's why when you feel like they're killing you, it's like, I know things, it's like the whole thing, what we're going to do is cut off the top of your head and we're going to bring out that cloud. No thanks, I'll just die, Why? I've been standing up for the Lord's Prayer since June 9th out of hell mouth Sierra Vista fucking Arizona, right? All by myself. Literally. Okay. And figuratively? Both, yeah. And no help, no Yelp, no nothing whatsoever, right? And then they sit there, well, these people here are like sheep. Yeah, and the wolves just sit there and go, it's never going to stop. Okay. If that's the way they perceive you, that's the way they perceive you. Don't be what they perceive. And you'll find people that are, quote, considered sheeps can become serial mass killers that are very mean and very vicious. You can make a sheep act like a wolf. It's a wannabe wolf. It's not a sheep, it's a wannabe wolf. But it will go predicating after people it can kill. And it'll kill it. And it'll enjoy killing it. And it'll feel good, mama. And I can't wait to go hunting again. Okay, and it's a, quote, sheep. It's not a wolf. Okay. It's not a professional wrestler. It's not a professional football player. It's not this. It's a serial killer. How do if you're not a successful philanthropist, okay, the only way to be a successful serial killer is to be monster. Ted Bundy. Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. That's the only way to be a successful wolf. And then the wolves hunt you down. Here comes Vincent D'Onofrio and Jennifer Lopez to catch you, Carl. Or not Vincent D'Onofrio, Vince Vaughn. Vincent D'Onofrio is Carl. Thank you. You're welcome. A roach of me. So, it's invention. Okay. And when you use invention to try to destroy creation and have it trying to destroy each other to survive, that's what happens. Because they're stupid. My God, Brian Cox is so fucking stupid. It's like talking to the fucking wall. That one guy with the white sheet with the physics with you. You're like, really? God damn, it's like talking to a monkey, telling you what's happening with the light while the monkey is, remember that one guy, Ike, and he said Krishnamurti, they're all monkeys? It's like, no, the other guy probably so, yes. He thinks he's a monkey. He's Dr. Zayas. Judah Krishnamurti does not think he's a monkey. Okay, you think you're a monkey. That's why you're doing this for money. He didn't want to do it for money. He's like, they require money, so you have to find ways to make money to justify your existence to these monkeys, or they'll abuse you, right? Which is horrid. Why don't they change? The present civilization, it cannot last. I mean, anybody who goes and sits and listens to Judah Krishnamurti talk, or that David Icke, or Raj Patel, or, if you can't discern between intelligent and not intelligent and manipulative, and this guy's full of shit. He may sound like Judah Krishnamurti. Well, like with Eugene Krishnamurti and Judah Krishnamurti, there's radical difference. Okay. You want to stop listening to Eugene Krishnamurti. He's an asshole. You're like, God damn, I can't listen to this man talk anymore. He's such a dick. He must want to run for president or something. Congress or congressman or want to start his own tech business. He's a jerk. This is like watching HBO, streaming stuff on HBO and Hulu. It sucks, right? God, shut him up. Right? And then Judah Krishnamurti, it's like, I could talk to this guy all day. But the thing about it is once we talk all day, then if everybody doesn't listen, I don't want to talk anymore, Judy. I just want to go lay down and die. Me too. Okay, I love you too. Bye. Okay. It's been a slice, Herc. Okay. It's terrible. All right. I'm so depressed I can hardly contain myself. And so it's like that. So you like that. It's terrible. But what do you expect? You're dealing with people that have trapped the essence of their existence in their mind and are trying to confine everything in their mind, explain everything with their mind. It's like, okay, you're going to keep doing this. And then it's, okay, where are you going to go? Ah, damn, it's the Yorktown and we suck again. And so you're like, fuck. Why do you want to go to Mars? Because it can. Okay, but what's the good of doing something you can do if it destroys your existence and then you can't do it? Do you understand? I want to climb that mountain, but it could kill you. But I can. I want to show I can do it. Oh, you stood upon the abyss and lived. Okay, so how many years have you been sleeping with your daughter, Mr. Sharecropper in Mississippi? Okay, do you understand? Okay, so I think everybody in their right mind fundamentally knows that when you have a relationship with a woman, okay, now if she lies to you and she's unfaithful, right, then you try to find another woman to have and raise the kids with, right? Now, in biological conditioning, the one that loves the kids most, like ever seen that movie Patriot, where the sister of the wife of Mel Gibson wants to marry him and raise the kids because she loves the kids because it's her sister's kids, right? You're like, oh, that makes sense, right? That's so gross. What's gross about it? That's Grossberger. He's the worst mystery murderer in the history of the Southwest. There's nothing gross about it. Not at all. Okay. The only thing that would be gross about it is if Gwyneth Paltrow killed Mel Gibson's wife to have sex with Mel Gibson. Now that's gross. Okay. But she dies and they grieve, and then they realize they want to raise the kids together because they love her and the kids. And they care about one another. There's nothing gross about that. Okay. What's gross is the perception of selfish people who say, what if she killed her to have sex with him? Well, that's you, so get out of here. I don't want you around my kids. Go away. Go away, little girl. I'm not supposed to be alone with you. Call it a day, little girl. Okay. What will my Mary say? Devil woman, get out of here, right? And it happens. Glenn Close's character, There are some people that are so competitive and so selfish that they will kill your spouse to conquer you and your spouse. Okay. And then, but I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. Lisa left you long ago. No, I never did that with any of my girls. Amy did that to me with Kelly. And I'm like, why? He was a dick. He beat you. He beat Natalie at 8 months when you were 8 months pregnant by beating you. He was, how the fuck could you miss an asshole like that? No. Okay. When you get in a relationship and somebody does something like that to you, you don't miss them. Okay. You said the thing with him. Yeah, but Amy, when I got to Sierra Vista, I realized why Amy was acting the way Amy was. Okay. What about Kelly? Isn't that? No, Kelly wasn't the #1 science project. Okay. In the history of the Pentagon to bring down Jesus. Kelly's an asshole. He's like the people in the science project. Patrick's right about Kelly Jack Green. That's why Natalie gets so, lately I've been so confused. Why can't you be my dad? Like all the kids in Walk Up. Why can't you be my dad? Why can't you be my dad? And then when Amy told her in Sierra Vista that when Amy was screwing around and Natalie was watching and told me, okay, she was doing online, meeting people, having people come over and party because the guy next door, they have parties. No, they don't. Don't tell you. And he was like, yeah. He's like, you dumbass. She's partying and bringing people over while you're at work. Her and Angel. Shit. Yeah, and the kids are being watched by other people. Don't tell Dad. He's going to take away all the fun. You got to go do this, but don't tell Dad. You know how he is. Well, Natalie started telling Dad because Natalie didn't like it. The other kids were totally oblivious. They were 2 and 4, but Natalie was 7 and very smart and astute and my best little buddy and talked to me, And so Natalie, and I always protect her when Amy abused her here and Amy abused her at other places because Amy was jealous of her and mean to her, and it was horrible. And you're like, Amy's just a terrible person. Okay, what do you not get about the science people with the science projects that can program people like they're programming a video game and we can't get them to do anything they don't want to do? And Amy's sitting there telling me, I'm like Sybil, I'm like this, I'm a schizophrenic, I don't want to do half the stuff I do, but I do it anyway. And I'm like, you can resist, you can do this, you got cute kids. Amy, you got some of the cutest kids in the history of the world here. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. If you can't, and she couldn't. And then when she went to go with Yorgev and did all that stuff and came back, then she was able to better manage, but it's hard with all the brain damage she has from all the manipulation from the scientist. When you've been trained to be this selfish, horrible person and you're not by nature like that. I mean, Janice is like, she's nothing like these people have trained her to be. I thought it was the Fabres. Well, some of it was the Fabres. The Fabres are put on a nice face and then gossip. Janice, no. She's not a gossip. Okay. She's a big sweetheart who gets made fun of, and she's dumb and she's naive. And, let's just go make some Dross biscuits and we'll have some pigs in a blanket and eat some ice cream and just talk about how shitty they are and we're better off without them. Okay, she will talk, but it's not gossip. You don't need that shit. You're too sweet of a person, Amy, to have to put up with that kind of shit. Okay. Find somebody that'll teach you now. You try nicer. There's got to be someone out there. You're cute enough, and and so that's Janice Hull, okay, and that's Amy's biological conditioning. The Fabres are different. The Fabres are mean girls. Yeah, that's what Amy told me. This is what they're like. Oh, that's a cool dress. How rich? That's the ugliest fucking dress I've ever seen in my life. Okay, burn book, right? See, that's the Fabres. And I was like, oh, goddamn. And every time I do something, don't do that. They'll talk shit about you. It's like I care. So they're talking shit about me, how dumb I am. Peter tells me to my face. He tells me all the time how dumb I am. Okay? Him and Randall. Oh, you're so stupid. Do you think that? Yeah, I do, because this and that. No, they can't, no. And he never apologized or said he was wrong. You really think that the Tesla engine can run a car similarly or almost to the same capacity and speed as a combustible engine? They just can't do that. That's all bullshit. That's all just things for liberals to think that it can happen, and it's never going to happen, and it never will, because it can't. That's what Peter Fabre told me, a nuclear engineer who runs nuclear subs. Okay, goddamn genius, right? And I sat there and said, no, it's not that, like with the Tucker. And so I'm explaining to him, oh, no, that's just more liberal conspiracy bullshit. Okay. I shot the Kennedys. Yeah. Really? Yeah, I lied about my age. I'm actually older than I was. Nobody noticed because I was in a baby stroller with a high-powered weapon made by the FBI. Okay, Earl, did you understand? There's no conspiracy about it. I'm David Duchovny, the hand model from from Zoolander, right? You're like, oh God, and then you get obnoxious and you don't want to talk. That's why I told them I'm not gonna, because then they told you that time in Santa Fe, because Randall could be a real dick. Okay, who's a dick? I'm sure his own sweetheart of a son knows it, Zach, and Anthony. I think they know, oh, Dad's a dick. Okay. They're a little different, I think, than Mallory and Tori. I don't know, maybe Mallory and Tori know their dad's a dick. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't, we don't talk anymore. It's so funny how Cliff Richards, right? So, you got to be objective about your kids or you suck at being a parent. Okay, and you got to be objective about your parents, or you suck being a person, right? Monsters Ball, he was objective about his old man and his grandpa, and then he didn't suck at being a person, but it destroyed him. He couldn't handle it anymore. He couldn't take it anymore, so he killed himself, right? Heath Ledger's character, right? He couldn't. It was just too horrible. His life was too horrible. His family was just too horrible of human beings, and he couldn't stand them. And he couldn't come to terms with the fact that this was his grandpa and that's his dad, and he hated it. So he killed himself to try to get away from it. He just, when the whole hope was lost in sight, I think he thought he was such a loser because he was always told he was such a loser. He couldn't just get up and leave that little old town and go somewhere else and function, because he thought he's too much like his old man and his grandpa, and he was such a dumb, dysfunctional, inbred, fucked up asshole that once you're objective and you understand that you're not. Okay, and then if you're acting a certain way, you can find nice people to talk to. What about, are you doing this? Yeah. It's just you're not that way. By nature, you're not that way. You're a good person. You're not a Roman. You don't want to kill all the people that are part of your mobster group. Oh, you want to live like Jesus? Thanks for saving Barbarous. I love you too. And sometimes you need that person to help. Someone saved my life tonight. Right? It helps. And so if they are successful at depressing me and poisoning and killing me physically, this suddenly last summer. You guys will lose your protection in these genocidal scientific wars, because the greatest protection the United States of America has from its genocidal enemies is me, and I'm aware of that. But if you're not going to live the Lord's Prayer and not going to stand up and spread it across your devices and stuff like that, you don't deserve to have the protection of me, right? None of you do. And so, you say you love your children, but you don't, or you'd end all wars and stand up for the Lord's Prayer. And hey, I like Judah Krishnamurti too. Me too. Bok bok. You thanks, Easter Bunny. Right? Is it pay to be good? No, it's good to be good. Money's not real. It's a human invention for evil people to manipulate stupid people to feel powerful. Yeah, there you go. Anybody want to go watch the Earps get beat by the Clans because Captain Kirk has transcended human violence of wanting to kill after they killed Mr. Chekhov, right? How did they know they all would have ended up, Captain Kirk, what they didn't understand is how do they know that they all would have not ended up dead? They would have just thought they were dead through their program. So they would just send them off, and, all I remember was the girl, because that's all that mattered to them, right? So how do they know when they went and encountered them, they would have let them live, but just sent them on their way and had them not, but they were determined to come, and we need relations with you. We are the Federation. We come in peace, right? Yeah. With weapons of mass destruction to fight the Romulans and the Klingons for colonization. But we come in peace. Yeah, you come in peace. What are you going to do? Your religious beliefs are barbaric. They are. Uh-huh. There is no more. Okay, so science is going to replace Jehovah with your ego as opposed to the essence of our creation. Yeah, that's really wackadoodle. What are you doing? Ooh, is that a pheromone? Or is it a pheromone? Is it a pheromone? Is that what it's called? It's a pheromone making pheromone sounds? Yeah. Go away. Not supposed to be alone with you. When they're monitoring you and they're studying, just remember, if you're wanting to live the Lord's Prayer, you're far superior to the assholes that are abusing you over money with their technology. And never forget that. And if they murder you, it's because they're jealous of you and they're disgusting of you being perfect and them thinking that they never can be perfect. It's like, you're probably right. All right, I love you, all right? Peace out.